Good day. It's Mary Lou Novak with Resource, the number 4 Care, and we provide education for seniors and their adult children regarding navigating aging and caregiving. And all of that information is free by going to the website resource4care.com. Today we have our guest Sherry Harbor from Harbor Realtor. Now you are a broker, correct?
I am.
Which is wonderful. And maybe you want to start with just, before you even tell the topic we're talking about, what's the advantage of working with a broker versus, I mean, they're both good, but versus a realtor?
They are both good. Just as a broker, we have to know more of the market.
Yes.
We oversee agents, so we
Yes.
have to have that extra level. We have extra education
Right.
that covers that too. So.
And you don't have to get some special, consideration or agreement passed through management because you're working directly with management.
That's right. That's right. You're going right to the top.
Exactly. So we're doing a series called Senior Housing Roadmap, and there'll be 6 series. They'll all be available on the website. Today we're talking about information organization.
I wonder where you got that title from. Senior Housing Roadmap.
Oh, could it be that it's the title of your book?
That might be.
So to be direct, I went through your book and rather doing it chapter by chapter, I combined topics to be sort of more encompassing.
Sure.
And then we're going to add people to our talks on the 6th.
That is great.
So that, maybe we'll have a financial planner or somebody who works with families we have other topics, but we'll talk about that later. All right, so we're going to have the Senior Housing Roadmap series. There'll be 6 episodes, and today we're starting with information organization, or as you call it in your book, the starting line.
That's right. We got the starting line.
Why is organizing your information important, Sherry?
So really the starting line is helping you know, where are you today? We have to have a baseline to start from. If we're going to go on a trip, we need to plan that trip, which way we're going, what's our route. Are we flying? Are we driving? Or taking the train?
Exactly.
Do we need to get there fast? We need to get there slow. So
I love that analogy, right? Because it's a journey.
It is.
Aging,
Very much so.
navigating, aging, the whole thing is a journey. It's not, we look at it as we get up each day and we deal with what comes up each day. But if we look at it as a trip or a journey,
exactly,
that puts a whole new view
and
on
the neat thing about it is you can get organized. Maybe you don't want to start that journey today,
right?
But if you can get everything in order, maybe you're not able to take that journey.
Sure.
Your children can look at your roadmap and decide,
right?
Oh, this is what mom or dad or aunt or uncle want to do, and we can do it for them.
Right. And just like when you're planning a trip, it can be fun to research.
Absolutely.
It's not under pressure. You're not required to do anything you don't want to do.
Well, the best part is you're making the plan.
That's right.
Not someone else.
So where do we start?
So we have the book,
yes,
and people can read it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't get a plan started, so we did the workbook. And I love the workbook because they start to fill out all of their information. We're going to put down their contact information, all their team.
Okay.
We can't do this without a team.
Right.
I'm a realtor. I'm a real estate broker. I know real estate.
Right.
But I don't do financial planning.
Sure.
I know people that do, but I don't do estate planning or
Right.
estate documents or powers of attorneys. But everybody needs their team.
Yes.
Everybody needs their team. So if they can get all that together, and that is in our starting line, that first chapter in the workbook,
Right.
gives them a place to put it all down on paper.
Yeah, and what I'd like to offer, we can reach out to Sherry to get the whole, the workbook and the book, but we could even send or make available the sheets for
Absolutely.
this specific topic.
Sure.
So each time we cover a topic, we can make the sheets available.
I can get a PDF together for you, and they can just go to your website, pull it down.
So, what are some of the things that you have on the workbook page?
So,
for example,
what are your bank accounts?
Right.
Who's your attorney? Who does your taxes?
Right. So if you want to, if for those of you who are viewing this on, on video form, otherwise it's going to be on my website.
And the neat thing is, for me, like I settled an estate for my uncle.
Right.
Who's their doctors?
Right.
I don't know who to call, So if this can be filled out and put in your file cabinet with your
Yes.
important papers,
Right.
all your family has to do is pull it out. Here's the workbook.
Exactly.
And then we can go to the financial advisor, call them, and they'll have their own files.
Right.
So if you put this in the front of the folder,
Sure.
and all
it's
the-
almost
those
like a
important
glossary.
files.
Is that no index? Which is in the beginning? Glossary.
what is
Index?
it? Oh, in table of contents.
Table of contents.
So yes, that works good. Phone numbers can be in there.
Right.
Banking details, investments, company name, account numbers, a phone number, who to call.
Well, it's interesting when I was looking through this again, to talk about what the different segments would be. Just reminded me of what I went through with my mom went through with my dad. Unfortunately, he had an unexpected brain bleed and lost his ability to participate in decisions, so we really couldn't get information from him.
Right.
And
Passwords are very important.
he has been he went to heaven 5 years ago, and I would say about 8 months ago she got some other notification that there's some other dividend out there,
Yes.
and it's in his name. So then 4.5 years later, how do you get that? I mean, it wasn't a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But still, it's still out there. You don't want to walk away
Exactly.
from some investment he had set up.
Right.
And so just think how, without going into detail, just think how complicated that is.
Yes.
And if we would have had all this information in one place or written down anywhere.
Right. So you know what to go look for.
Absolutely.
It's easier to research if you know you're supposed to be researching something.
We just recently had a panel. We spoke for the employees of Pinnacle Financial Partners. And one of the things we talked about is knowing when you're done, right?
Yes.
So if you have everything down, you at least can check off each
Right.
thing.
And the other thing that I love about this is you get this in here and then you think about, does that bank account have a beneficiary on it?
Right.
When I settled an estate, many of the bank accounts did not even have a beneficiary.
Sure.
Even they were listed in the trust, but without a beneficiary, we had to send that part through probate.
Probate. And that can take years,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Depending on how complex they are.
absolutely. And then the passwords are important.
Yeah, that's something we have to think about nowadays. Everything, I mean, we have passwords, and then we have phone numbers that we have to double check the password, and then we have secret questions in case, that they use. So
And
that all
social
need-
media, is someone
Right.
set up to
Oh,
handle your
right.
social media if you pass away?
Right,
You don't want those just out there
right.
for anybody to hack into and use
Sure.
for you. So
Well,
insurance, a lot of times you might go through their files when you're going through someone else's
Yes.
files. You find these insurance papers and they're old. You don't know what's new, what's old.
right. Where does it stop and end
Yes.
time-wise?
So what we often encourage them to do is put it here. And then
Right.
if you cancel it, mark it through, make a
Sure,
note what
sure.
happened,
I'll
and
just
then
hold
who
it
you
up.
replace it.
It just gives a place for everything to be listed. Interesting. I'd like the details too about the property to let
Yes.
people, just to give an overview of what's paid off, what's not.
And just seeing this other property here, sometimes people own investment properties.
Yes.
And the first inclination of that spouse is, I never wanted rental properties. I'm selling it right away.
Right.
And if they come to me, I remind them about capital gains because that was income property.
Yes.
And we had one a couple of years back, and she said, "No, I want them gone." I'm like, capital gains. We got to talk about this. We need to talk to your accountant about it.
Well, we get spoiled here in Tennessee because we don't have state income tax. Now we have federal.
Right.
But if you own property in a state that has income tax,
Absolutely.
so you get a double whammy on your capital gains because then you have to pay state and federal. It's
Yes.
not pretty.
Yeah. And there's ways to avoid, or not avoid taxes, but there's ways to defer that tax.
Well, or make a conscious decision
Right.
of what the impact's going to
Or
be.
if they have 5 rental
Yeah.
properties, they may not want to sell all 5 of them this year.
Yeah, to have it all be the same
Right.
year.
Yes.
So what else, what other information
What
is
else do we have
important?
in here? Here's your computer passwords.
Okay.
Legal. Do you have a medical directive?
That's the part we talked about. How do you know you're done? Does it exist?
Exactly. Right.
Who knows?
Have you created one? And what date did you create it? Do you have a durable power of attorney for healthcare? A durable power of attorney for finances? What about a trust? What about a will? You know, these are great documents,
Yes.
but they end when you end.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you pass, this passes. So then that's where the trust and the will steps in.
Exactly.
So, but it is amazing how many people, I will get to that. It's difficult subjects to talk about.
Yeah, we just recently were talking, even before we got on, about someone who did a presentation, right?
Right.
For, and the name is escaping me. What is it for?
P&A? What's up,
Yeah,
P&A?
it was at P&A.
Professional Network of Aging?
No, the form.
Oh, the green form.
Yeah, the one that tells your loved ones.
It was the advanced directive, right?
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. It slipped my mind. Thank you. Boy, that I filled it out after that P&A meeting.
Yes.
Professional Network on Aging is a bunch of healthcare people, but I thought I'm just going to fill this out. But when I sat down to do it, it was not.
It's tough.
You know, it just when you said that, it reminded me of doing the form, and
Well,
I
it's
had to push
interesting.
myself through.
Yes. She asked for a show of hands how many people had filled one out.
Yes, and these are people in healthcare.
Yes.
What
So-
was it? A third maybe of the room?
And not even probably.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you're not alone if you don't have
Exactly.
an advance directive, but it is important. And
And I
asks-
talked to someone a few weeks back that did not have a will. We were talking
Oh.
about the book, and they said, well, we haven't put a will in place now. This is a family that's bought and sold businesses.
Right.
So I
Professional
just
people.
asked, I said, who do you want to have your home when you pass away? Our children? Well,
How are they going to get it?
exactly.
How's that going to happen?
That's right.
Wow. Yeah. Scary.
So it's always fun.
Yeah.
So that all that does is to kind of put things in one place.
Yes.
And opens up your mind to the fact that maybe I'm missing a few steps here.
Right.
I need to get something, if I don't have that, I need to talk to an attorney.
Sure. Yeah, because just like we said, we said earlier, like it gives you a finish line or tells you what is what, but it also gives you a to-do list.
It does. But I will tell you too, when you go through some of this and you
Yes.
do some of this, the peace of mind you have when you complete it is amazing. Like we put a trust together. And that night I could sleep really good. And then
Right.
it dawned on me the next morning, but I have to fund the trust. So then there was still more steps to
Right.
take. But,
Yes.
the home needs to be moved into the trust.
Right.
Your bank account beneficiaries
Right.
need to be the trust.
And we found out when we met with one of our, attorney colleagues, Matt Rhodes. My husband and I met with him, and we had some transactions we knew we were planning on, and we knew that from speaking with him, it wasn't about let's do it now. It was about planning for when the time. So creating a trust for us didn't make sense right at that moment,
Right.
because we had this property that we had to do something with first. So until we did what we had to do, but that wasn't even on our radar.
Sure.
So when you meet with a professional about the basics, you begin to learn more, and then you realize what you don't know.
Exactly.
Or how much you
and
don't
this
know.
is a good place to start.
It's a good
taking
start.
it to your attorney. Even.
Absolutely.
So it'll
Yeah.
help them ask you the right questions.
Yeah, and you'll get to see where you don't have answers.
That's right. That's right.
That's
and
your to-do list.
Even since I created this book, the book and the workbook
Yes.
is like it's not incomplete.
It's not
It is
everything.
not everything.
Yeah.
There are so many more things.
Right.
Just for example, in a trust, what type of trust do you need?
Correct.
Is the one you're putting the trust
Right.
together for possibly going to have a disease that progresses and you need to protect the spouse.
Right.
You know some of that.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. I mean, or if there's illnesses that run in your family, hedging your bets and having certain things in place.
And
so it doesn't become a burden for your family.
Doing it timely because of this look back time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's it. The laws change, right? And over time, you know, the government got wise and they put things in place to make sure people weren't shoving things into trust at the last minute.
Right.
So now there's like a 5-year look back,
I think it's 5 years.
Yeah.
Again, that's a professional question.
It's right. That's right. That's not our area of expertise, but we learned just enough to be dangerous.
That's right.
Just kidding. Just kidding. So I recommend that you. We're going to put the Sherry's contact information up along with this video. And but tell them verbally how they can reach out to you, Sherry, in case they're listening via podcast.
If you're listening to the podcast and you're in the Memphis area, you're welcome to go to my website. That's harbor.com, harbur.com. That's for harborrealty.com. That'll get you there too. And just ask for a copy of the book. We will give anybody that's local, we'll get them a book and a workbook. Happy to set up workshops.
Yes.
You know, we can go through these 6 different times with the people and let them fill it out, and we can kind of have a group discussion with it too. Happy to do that with any group you want to put together. So these are free. I do not charge for them because I want the education in the community.
Yeah. Well, it's so much easier to work with buyers that have a bit of knowledge, right?
Exactly.
And are doing things timely. So
the part of the reason behind this is I have been ready to help families sell a home.
Right.
We could not sell a home because they didn't have the proper power of attorney in place.
Well, think back and give me an example of a real life story of that.
Real life story, I represented a buyer.
Right.
We were going to buy a home that was being sold.
Okay.
The person was incapacitated in a coma at the hospital. The only person taking care of them, because they had no family, was a neighbor.
Okay.
Neighbor did not have a power of attorney. They were doing this out of the goodness of their heart.
Sure.
In order for them to continue to do what they needed to do to help, they had to set up a conservatorship, which could take 6 months, 8 months.
Yes.
There's not enough money in the account to continue making the house payment during this time.
Right.
There's only $25,000 left on the mortgage.
Right. So all that money is tied up.
The money's tied up. The
So
neighbor
let's
said,
say how much was the house worth? Like how
So
many?
it's like a $300,000
So-
house. You got all this equity in this
Yes.
house. Neighbor says, I can't foot
I
the bill
can't
for
take
6
the money.
months.
Yeah.
It goes into foreclosure.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
Yeah, absolutely. So
you buy a home, a place to be, and then all that money's tied up, and you can't get access to it.
So I don't know who the beneficiary would have been. It could have been a charity. It could have been a distant relative. I don't know, but it all went back to the bank, and it killed me. It's like if we can just educate a few people about having just the proper legal document in place to preserve their home and their equity.
Plan ahead.
Yes, absolutely. Without a plan,
And
without
we'll
a roadmap.
like we mentioned earlier, Sherry's going to give me the PDFs for each of these sessions. And then what we'll do is we'll make them available. I'll have them added to my website. So even if you don't connect with Sherry to get the book, you can still download the PDFs.
Right.
You're good with that, right?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, because our main thing is to educate people. We're not into selling books.
That's right. That's right.
Anything else?
If they are out of town and they want to order a book, I think there's a link on the website.
Okay.
They can go ahead and order it.
order
They're
it.
not very expensive. It's kind of our cost.
Yes, I gotcha. So if you could wave a magic wand, what would be the one thing, other than plan ahead? Because I think that's what we're saying.
Yeah, plan ahead is the big one.
Right. What else?
So
What else?
the other
would you
thing
want?
is communicate to your family what you want.
Okay. That's a big.
They can do it for you if they just know what you want.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting. I think I've said this before, but I was in Florida and it was actually a huge banner outside of a funeral home. And it said, plan ahead, give a gift to your family, plan ahead.
Yes, absolutely.
And I just thought, wow, that's impactful, because people go through a lot of emotions, you know, when they lose a family member,
Right.
and then, or the family member gets sick, and then they have to make decisions for them.
I just did a funeral for my mom, and I was so thankful for all the things she told me she wanted. I didn't have to second guess it. I knew it was fine. It didn't matter what anybody else thought. We did what she wanted.
Yeah, and we know that, what do they say? There's only a few things that are definitely going to happen, and one of them is us leaving.
That's right.
And I had a friend who, we worked together. She was my scheduler. I don't know if you ever met Barbara. I think it was before we met. But Barbara was an amazing person. She had broken her back riding horses and was permanently disabled, but she was a nurse practitioner before she had her accident.
I've heard the legend.
Yes.
I didn't know her.
So she worked with me scheduling and working with families, and she really got to use her skills in working with families as a nurse in a different way. Mm-hmm. She came in every day. She was in every day. She has a motorized wheelchair that she would load herself onto her own van and get to work. And amazing. I never worried about her coming or showing up on time. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. But the reason I'm mentioning it is that she unfortunately also got cancer. And when she knew it was not curable, she made all the plans herself. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a chill talking about it. I've never been to a funeral that way, where the pictures, the music, the food,
wow,
everything was planned by her in advance. It was the most beautiful thing. So if you got to go anyway,
make it easy on your family.
Make it easy on your family and make it what you want it to be.
Right. Yes.
Why not? So I wanted to thank you for coming in today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And reach out to Sherry. Oh, I also want to tip my hat to one of our sponsors, and that is Leanne Morris with All Things New.
I couldn't do my stuff without her.
So give a little commercial for Leanne. What are some of the things that she's...
Leanne is awesome, especially when someone's going from their family home.
Yes.
It's too big for them now.
Right.
And they're downsizing to something else.
Okay.
To take all of their contents, move it to the new location, and still make it feel like home.
Yes.
Pictures back on the wall where they belong, right above the couch, whatever. And then they just leave this home, bring their suitcase,
it's hard
and
enough
move
to
in the
transition,
next one.
right? So you walk into your new space and all your familiar objects that you've chosen specifically to come with you are all set up for you.
And she does it so pleasantly.
She does. She's amazing. So Leanne Morris of All Things New supports what we do so that I can make this education free for seniors and their adult children. So thank you, Leanne, and All Things New. And thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.